this float ride trailer is the smoothest on earth.
Or is it? This is precisely why we're here in Texas with this exclusive new technology, and we're gonna put it through 5 tests back to back against an ordinary fixed neck trailer to see what's what.
Let's do it.
And here are the 5 tests we're gonna be doing. First, ease of loading, then a high-speed rough highway test, and we brought a special measuring device to measure the vibrations. Then deck leveling, which is a new feature on this particular float ride trailer. Then low speed, very rough road test, and finally a braking comparison test. Of course, we have a lot of other cool machinery here, and the guys at Float Ride provided this truck, the trailers, and of course the case backhoe loader. But this dually has a Godzilla V8 gas engine under the hood, the 7.3 liter, 430 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. This truck has a 10-speed automatic transmission and a 373 limited slip rear end. This video test is made possible and is brought to you guys by our friends at Float Ride. Click on the link below and check these guys out. The link is in the description. We always tell you, you saw it here first in the fast lane truck, and it could not be more true here. This is brand new patent pending technology from Float Ride, and if you look at this trailer, everything you see from this vertical member back is technically an ordinary gooseneck working trailer. Everything you see here in the middle is their brand new patented technology. That includes the semi-truck grade airbag, semi-truck grade shock absorber, and how they're connected. And of course, there's a massive hinge at the bottom. And of course, they have the air compressor controls. But everything you see forward of this is also fairly standard. And I want to see exactly how it compares versus a regular trailer. All right, we're gonna hook up to the standard fixed neck trailer first, load it up, and then we can start our testing. Okay. How come Mr. Truck is not doing this? What is he doing? So I'm gonna attach the breakaway cable as always to the frame with basically via the hitch, as well as the safety chains. Finally, the electric.
Andre, bring your gloves. You gotta drop the ramps, man.
I got it, dude.
You look like heavy ramps. So this is the control trailer.
Yeah, this is a standard fixed neck, right?
Yeah.
And it's got fairly standard ramps. You've seen these ramps before,
Yeah,
and
the
we've
old
used
monster ramps, yeah.
You know, this is what the springs look like. They kind of move around a little bit. You see that? Okay. Ooh.
Man, you got some cannons there. Look at that. Look at that.
So what we should see here with a fixed neck ordinary trailer is when you put the weight on the back of the trailer starts to move up. It'll try to kind of lift a little bit on the truck itself, and then it will kind of counteract itself and lower it and maybe rock the whole rig back and forth. So let's see how it works. There's Mr. Truck at work.
$5,100 miles on this truck. Yeah, we're all checked out. We checked out the air pressure. We've got 4 chains on this backhoe, 4 corners all tied down, so we're legal as can be.
Plus a chain on the boom?
Yes, that's 5 chains. We are chain gang.
This kind of feels like the good old times, huh?
Yeah.
It So right now we're doing kind of a high-speed test, right?
Yeah.
We're going about 60 to 65 miles an hour on this nice Texas highway. I'm noticing kind of the standard. This is what I'm used to.
Yeah, it's just the normal, you know, shaking down the road, the normal stuff you do. You're all tired by the end of the day from all the movement of the truck and the trailer.
Yeah, so basically, guys, what's happening is, I mean, the truck has its own suspension, right?
Yes.
Then the trailer has its own suspension.
Yes.
And when you're going over a rough pavement like this, they're kind of working at different times, right?
Exactly.
And they work against each other. I think we need some rougher road.
Well,
What would you say?
let's go drive down the ditch. We can go find some potholes.
We're usually not very scientific at TFL Truck, but this time we're trying to be a little bit more so. Here I have a vibration meter which measures acceleration, basically meters per second squared, or G-force, and we're going to try to measure both trailers on the same piece of road and to see numerically what it does. If you can tell, if you move this, the acceleration changes. So we're going to try to measure that. All right, we found some proper county roads.
Yes. Holy cow.
Oh, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, we want some speed, man.
Oh my gosh, everything is jiggling to heck.
Oh, man, this is what we need. This is good. Whoa, look at that, girl, go.
So I would say, you know, this is not as the worst I've felt with a trailer.
No, we've been on worse, but this is a really good test for this kind of equipment.
So I would call this like about a 6, maybe on a, from 1 to 10.
Yeah,
On the scale of 1 being the perfect ride and 10 being the worst ride in the world.
that's right.
Right now it's about a 6. Yeah, the Hula Girl test is mostly for fun, but let's take a look at the vibration meter results. The measurement you're seeing is an acceleration measured in meters per second squared. It's basically showing how fast the trailer is trying to push the truck in all kinds of directions. The fixed neck trailer transfers all of the bumps to the truck, and here we see maximum vibration values between 40 and 45 meters per second squared. This is our baseline number. We will compare it against the float ride trailer in a bit.
Right now we're about 39 inches. So we're going to see if the squat changes between the fixed trailer and the float ride. See if there's any difference there at all. So right now we're looking at 39 inches up to the fender well from the ground.
We're going to position the backhoe loader in the same position, so we have about the same weight distribution and tongue weight. All right, so 57 inches from the bucket to the front. He's backing the backhoe off the truck, and it's lifting the rear end. It started at 41, now it's about 43. When the backhoe was being unloaded, it actually picked up the rear end of the truck by about 2 inches, like you guys just saw. That's really interesting to see. Stop! So Chad, we're about to hook up the float ride. So what's the procedure here? Is it a little bit different or no?
Yes, it is different.
Okay, so what's going on here? Tell me about this latch.
Okay, this is a latch that holds your neck up when you're unhooked from the pickup.
Okay.
And will also, so if you were not to latch this, you would just basically, the neck would go down with the jacks.
And with the airbag?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So this holds the neck in place while
While you're
you
loading
are
or
unloaded.
unloading. Okay.
Yes. Jack down on the ball. Test this. Still need to go down. So you exhaust your air. Till these come up. Lay them over. Put your pin in. Take your tape measure. And then you air it up to 10 3/4 inches. And now you're ready to continue your hookup. And you're done.
All right, and how come is it 10 3/4? Is it just kind of the experience and
Yes.
what's the best ride?
That's where we found that this trailer rides the best, is at 10 3/4 inches.
Okay. Those are nice touches, a little hook for your cable. Also up here, a little hook for your chains to store your chains when you're not using it, right?
Yes, sir.
Now the guys at Float Ride have something special in the back for the ramps. They call them stealth ramps. They're still pretty massive, but can you listen? There's no banging, and that's because they have straps holding them down. That's built in into the trailer. Let's compare the ramps really fast. There are a few things happening here. First of all, there's more spring assist, and the guys at Float Ride say it's about 50 to 60% easier to actually operate these ramps. Also, fine touch, little sleeves for the springs so they don't move around. See that? There's more assist in this ramp. No, I've never seen this before with a setup like this where there's airbags and shocks between the neck and the actual trailer. So let's see how it loads, and it should help a little bit, they say. Same thing, we're starting at 41. Let's go. With the other trailer, it was lifted 2 inches. That was about 1 inch of motion while he was loading it. But now Mr. Truck is gonna measure the squat once we have the backhoe positioned correctly. What was it, 57?
57 inches.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, not there. That'll work.
So this one's just a hair over 39. So this one just squat a little bit less than what the fixed neck had. Well, Lane, this is really a cool system you have for balancing your load. Besides all the advantages we're going to find out about with the smooth ride, but like this backhoe, we want to put it where it's balanced on the trailer, and we may have too much weight forward or whatever we end up with. But your system will actually level the bed of the trailer out, so you're not overloading the front axle of the trailer or overloading the truck.
That's
back
correct.
axle.
And the beautiful thing about this thing, you can distribute weight without ever moving your payload.
So we need to lift this up?
Yes. So we have an onboard compressor, and what we'll do is we will inflate these airbags. And when you inflate these airbags, your fixed riser is here. So this is going to add pressure against this airbag, moving your hinges down here.
Right, kind of makes like an arc.
Let's go ahead and exhaust a little bit. And then we'll hit that one more time, just a little bit. I did too much. That's perfect.
This is aerobics, man. We get this big 13,600 pound backhoe a rocking and a rolling because it's cool suspension. Are we stepping at the same time?
We're definitely not.
It's a dually crew cab.
Yes, it is an F350.
Yes, so I would expect it to ride rough no matter what, like empty with a trailer, all of that stuff.
That's true. Now, I've just noticed that the truck calmed down. Can you feel it?
Yes.
It is a difference. You can tell that it's a smoother ride. I'm surprised. I didn't know it'd be, because, you know, the other truck, the trailer rig, this truck, and the other fixed neck trailer felt normal, like what we're used to driving.
Yes.
And this is smoother. I am surprised. I was a little skeptical.
Me too. Yeah, I didn't know exactly how to expect this.
Yeah.
But this rides like an F-250 now.
It does, yeah.
Much softer.
I like that. I like it when I can tell the difference in you can with this.
Now we have our slow speed Hula Girl test. Very scientific, right?
It is, and hopefully I can see some movement out my mirrors on this one, because it does
I think you will.
have quite a bit of movement, yeah.
So once again, guys, 1 to 10 scale, 1 being the perfect ride, 10 being the really bad ride, awful. The truck with a fixed neck trailer was about 6. Let's see how she moves. I think you're going faster than the other truck. This is amazing. You have more confidence.
Yes, it's smoother, so I can go faster.
You have to remember, you're towing 22,000 pounds.
Oh, is that right?
So guys, I would judge the Hula Girl, I would say about 3. So this is what this truck feels like with this float ride trailer. To me, from the passenger side, it feels like a smaller truck.
It's definitely a noticeable improvement, and that means there's going to be less fatigue when you drive it all day long.
So you don't have to grab the steering wheel and...
Yeah, or squeeze it so tight like you do sometimes when you're in danger with the vehicle.
Yeah. And also you were saying that freight companies, if you have air ride, trailer or truck or both,
Yeah.
they pay more to haul
They
freight.
do more per mile on an air ride axle, so this one here should be
big hole
right
there.
away. There's a car on this side. Which one do you mean hit the car or the pop?
Oh my god, he wasn't gonna let us by?
Well, he was on the edge and I was on the edge, so we were...
Dude, we just went over like a 1.5 foot giant rock. The whole purpose behind the air cushion trailer neck is to isolate the trailer vibrations from the truck. The goal is to decrease the stress on the truck, trailer, and the driver. Maximum vibration values we see are around 8 to 9 meters per second squared. It means the vibrations the float ride trailer transfers to the truck are about 5 times less than what the fixed neck trailer did. This is a huge difference, and one you can feel when behind the wheel. Mr. Truck,
Yes.
you know, I can confirm, towing a heavy load, 22,000 pounds, with this truck, with a float ride neck
Uh-huh.
on the trailer, I feel way more relaxed.
Yes.
I don't feel like there's a big trailer behind me. I'm mindful of it because I know I need to brake and
Yeah.
I need to stop it. But there's less motion through the truck. I don't feel as much of a, the trailer pushing me around.
Yes.
I think it's a good system.
Each riser will have 4 gussets, one here, one on the inside, one here, one on the inside. This is 3/4 inch plate. This is 1 inch plate. All of these are water jetted into this plate and inset, welded from the front and back. This is also 1 inch plate. This is a 2 inch pin, and these are oil infused bushings that the pin itself rides in. These hinges are all welded and bolted. We have a chain box in here and a chain rack
Okay.
that you can hang your chains and binders on. We also have gusseted the shock mounts, so there's no case of anything pushing in or out. These are all made out of 3/8. The locks are 3/4. So we built this trailer to try and withstand anything you can throw at it.
So it's basically overbuilt. I mean, a 2-inch pin down here, I mean, it's massive. I don't think I've ever seen a pinch that size.
Yes, sir.
Are these Zerk fittings
Yes.
where you can lubricate it?
Yes, we recommend about every 3,000 to 4,000 miles. You just put a little grease in each one, and each ear has its own grease zerk.
Okay, I gotcha. In this front compartment here, basically what used to be one of the toolboxes and can still be used for some spare parts is a battery and an air compressor on board. And the air compressor is here because you want to adjust the air pressure in the airbags depending on your weight, heavy, light, and adjust the leveling of your trailer. And the battery is being charged from the truck. So as soon as you plug it into the 7-pin in the truck, you're also charging this battery and you have air. And potentially, they say optionally you could also put an air tank in here so you have more air capacity and maybe run, fill up your tires or maybe run a simple air tool. A lot of gooseneck trailers have dovetails. It's this angled section on the back. And this is the trailer sitting level, and we're at about 12.5 inches to this concrete pad down here. But let's look at the full range of motion, potentially what it allows. Hey, look, I don't have to raise my foot very far. That's not bad. All right, let's measure up here. So here's between the rails by the bags. That's about 6 3/4. So with the air fully deflated here at the dovetail at the back, 16.5 inches. So that's already some travel. And if you were on dirt and you couldn't get over an obstacle, maybe you could put it in this position and back up. All right, we're almost fully inflated. The bags are extended. Over here, 14 3/4. So -6, that's about 8 inches of full travel. Now with the bags fully inflated, at the dovetail in the back, that's about 8.5. So you can see visually and with measurement, there's a big difference here. Hey look, any dummy can do this. Some moisture in there, it's humid. Wow, we're still at 12 inches. There we go, that should be just perfect. So the guys at Float Ride are also saying that the new Float Ride air cushion neck may help with braking because you get 2 types of dives. So right here we're doing the standard trailer fixed neck to get a baseline, 30 miles an hour acceleration, and then kind of a panic stop. And we'll see the braking distance difference between the 2 trailers with the same load. So let's check this out.
We know that the front tries to nosedive down, and with this trailer on here, the back end should lift up a bit where the duals are.
That's usually what happens. That's the characteristics of a fixed neck. You'll notice when you hit the brakes that payload is just going to try to keep coming and coming.
Yeah.
And coming. So, and that's what there's no way to really absorb that inertia that you're pulling. It's just coming with the truck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could see the ABS working and I could hear it too. Let's mark it. Oh yeah, that worked.
And what I did too, I waited till the marker was right across from my head when I hit the brakes.
Nice. All right guys, so right here, standard trailer, standard fixed neck. We're gonna do the same braking test with Float Ride and see if we can tell a difference. Same load, same truck, same speed. And what's supposed to happen, there may be 2 dives. The truck itself might dive just a little bit, and then the trailer should dive also because of the suspension system, put extra pressure on the rear tires of the truck and the front axle of the trailer, and enable the brakes to be more effective, we hope. Let's see.
What we noticed on a fixed neck, you notice the 2 suspensions fighting each other. That's where you got that loping.
Yeah.
That loping from. When that air spring compresses, the front of your deck is going to dive about 3 inches.
That's what I want to see too, because I want people to know that even in a panic situation, it's not going to compress and make the neck totally crazy. You look at that thing bounce. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
Dang, did you see that? There was a lot of motion between the trailer and the neck, but the truck was mostly stationary. Let's measure.
9 feet, boys.
So it was 99, now it's about 90?
Yes, sir.
So that's a 10% improvement, and I think it has to do with the way the weight is distributed and how the pressure is applied to the ground. All right, let's review, guys. So first test, the loading, it was pretty obvious. The truck was moving a lot less. Would you agree?
True. That's true. It's something you could feel along with our scientific equipment, our cameras.
And from the on-road high-speed and slow-speed test, I came away with this. More confidence. You know, the truck is not bouncing as much. I even saw you accelerating a little bit on that county road.
Yeah, the truck was well planted in the road. It didn't bounce around, so I actually had to keep finding the road. No, it was a very good experience.
And the braking distance was not super scientific. We didn't use like a GPS device, but I hope you can tell just the difference that we showed you.
Yeah, and each test you could tell a difference between a fixed neck and this Float Ride.
I'm very impressed. This is my first impression.
And I'm surprised because I didn't think, well, how in the world is that going to work? You know, we looked at the airbags, we looked at how it's hooked together and how it activates. And I thought, well, it'd be nice if it's a little nicer, but it's a definite improvement you notice. It's very interesting. Reminds me a lot of a really super good air ride on a trailer. Except it's totally different. It changes so many things. Just like I was talking about the weight distributing part of it. You can level your bed out so that your weight is shifted between all the axles. I mean, how can you get better than that on a gooseneck?
Yes, and you probably have a question in your mind. How much does all of this cost?
Yeah, I would. I'd like to know.
Oh, would you like to know?
Well, maybe.
Okay, and the answer is this is a premium product. Obviously, you saw the technology that goes in to building a gooseneck like this with an air ride, and it's a premium product, but the pricing is not finally set because they're just starting out. So you'll have to give them a call or go to their website to figure it out.
Yeah, it's brand new, so it's going to be interesting how this works in the market. I'd like to have one.
And guys, of course, go back to tfltruck.com for more news, views, and real-world trailer reviews. It doesn't get any more real than this.
And MrTruck.com. Maybe next year's Ike Gauntlet will have one of these cool trailers. We'll see.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.